To my big brother George, the richest man in town.
The difference one man can make in the lives of others is portrayed in Frank Capra's classic movie, It's a Wonderful Life.
Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many other lives. And when he isn't around, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he?
Patients of Dr. Andrew Burgdorf are well aware of the difference he's made in their lives.
If it weren't for him, I might not be here today, because he's really seen me through a couple of really serious things.
When we were in Dr. Burgdorf's office, it's as if the other world is shut off for him, and he zeroes in on our concerns.
He seems to sense that you need reassurance, and he will give you that reassurance without asking for it.
Just the way he cares about his patients, I really think makes a difference.
And just like in the old movie, a young Andy Burgdorf had a life-changing experience.
My older brother and I were walking across the Minnesota River, and the ice started to melt. And I went through the ice, and he pulled me out, and realized how close that we had come to losing our lives, and that life has value and purpose. And I really, really wanted to make my life count in the best way I could.
Which is why after graduating from high school at age 16, he decided to skip college and go into the mission field. This led to a first aid class, which ultimately led to medical school at the U of M and residency at Methodist Hospital.
I realized that you can do more. You can do more with that education. And that as a physician, you can really do a lot in terms of helping people when they need it the most.
A decision his patients in the growing community of Buffalo are grateful for.
He's an excellent listener. He's always willing to hear what I have to say, answer my questions, understands my need to have a lot of detail.
Uppermost, he's a knowledgeable and very skilled physician, but he also is a caring, compassionate physician as well.
If he doesn't know the answer, he finds it, you know, but it's very rare he doesn't know the answer.
Always takes time to ask about kids and just different things in our life that have nothing to do with medical issues, but they have everything to do with medical issues.
Start with your ears.
Today you'll find Dr. Burgdorf practicing at the same clinic he started at more than 2 decades ago.
He has never changed in 20 years. He's still wonderful. He still takes all the time that you need as a patient.
Should we say, Dr. Burgdorf rocks?
Katie Bottiger has been a patient of Dr. Burgdorf since 1991.
He really treats you as a person, not as a disease, which I really appreciate.
Diagnosed with neutropenia, she has a hard time fighting infection. It even landed her in the hospital.
He came by every day to make sure I was okay, that they were managing my pain, that I was getting better.
Over the years, Dr. Burgdorf has helped control her symptoms.
See, Dr. Burgdorf, I do exercise.
And maintain her quality of life.
I know he's so busy, but he really treats you like you are the most important part of his day when he's with you.
Dr. Burgdorf now sees her entire family.
Dad, he's kind. He's just very caring to everyone that he meets.
He's just not there to fix you. He really wants to get to know you and figure out, who you are, and I think that really makes him not only a complete person, but a really good doctor.
What's new today?
A good doctor who will sometimes call patients to remind them that it's time to make an appointment. He's also known for putting in long hours.
He actually has rung me at home on some occasions, and that's unknown to me. He will send you your test results at 11 o'clock at night.
I see him in his office working away. I tease him, isn't this supposed to be your day off? He just nod his head yes and chuckle a little bit.
There's been a number of times when I've had a situation that's been really, really tough and need to see him right away, and he's always willing to squeeze me in.
Can you feel that?
I can.
Good. It's often the things that are not scheduled in the day which end up being the most important.
He goes beyond the call of duty.
Ken Yeager and family are longtime patients of Dr. Burgdorf. When his elderly father-in-law forgot to make an appointment,
Dr. Burgdorf said, "No problem, I'll stop on my way home."
And when scans showed a brain tumor in his then 19-year-old son, Dr. Burgdorf tracked the group down over the weekend.
We were skiing in Kimball, and somehow he found out on a Saturday where we were at, contacted us, and we had a meeting at, I think, 10 o'clock that night.
Yeah, that worked out really well.
This family physician with a huge stride and even bigger heart is often seen moving from room to room with his white coattails flying behind him. The only time he slows down is when he's seeing a patient.
They're people, and they have a meeting, and what we do is so important to their life that it's hard to put a dollar amount on it or even a stopwatch on it.
I don't think he's ever been in a room in less than 10 minutes. Ever. Even if it's just a sore throat.
And she should know.
I'll do the EKG on Laura.
Right, perfect.
Nurse Karen Bullert has worked alongside Dr. Burgdorf from the beginning.
I definitely couldn't have done this the last 24 years without you, Karen.
Thank you, Dr. Burgdorf.
Thank you.
Others who have worked with him say Dr. Burgdorf's positive attitude is crucial to the clinic's team-like atmosphere.
He helps create a good culture where we can all talk to each other and work together for the best of our patients.
He's good with all his co-workers. He makes everybody, no matter what their job is, feel very important.
When Dr. Burgdorf is not with patients, you'll find this head physician tackling administrative duties. Dr. Ann Sidwell says his good-natured spirit and level-headedness leads to good advice.
He always gives me something maybe a little different than I would have thought of myself, and it's usually spot on.
And when the Buffalo Clinic became the first in the Allina system to go paperless,
It's been very valuable, and it really does save lives.
Dr. Burgdorf saw the importance of it and championed the cause.
He was one of those that tried helping make the changes in our medical record better for everyone across the entire system, and still to this day brings his ideas from smart phrases to improvements in the technology.
Patient notes aren't the only notes that Dr. Burgdorf reads. An accomplished cellist, he's a charter member of the Buffalo Community Orchestra. Dr. Burgdorf attends regular practices and performs with the orchestra, now 65 members strong. In March, he wowed the crowd with a solo in remembrance of his late teacher and Minnesota Orchestra member Eric Wallen.
I mean, it wasn't just that, oh, he's a good cellist. It was like, my goodness, he's really a good cellist.
Dr. Burgdorf grew up in Bloomington, Minnesota with his parents and 2 siblings. That's where his love for the outdoors and music began.
He's been playing cello ever since that cello case was probably almost bigger than he was.
Married for 26 years, he met his wife Sherilyn when she was called to accompany him on the piano.
I'm pretty grateful that he was a musician. I never would have met him otherwise.
The couple has 2 children. Dr. Burgdorf's daughter is now in college. His son is a senior in high school.
He's encouraging to other people. He's sympathetic. I can talk to him about, just about anything.
The family enjoys playing music together, participating in a number of outdoor activities, and of course, traveling.
To be a family doctor, one really needs to live and breathe and appreciate family oneself.
This appreciation was nurtured by his preceptors in Montevideo while there for the Rural Physician Associate Program. Coincidentally, one of those mentors, Dr. Norm Hagberg, also received the Family Physician of the Year award in the late 1980s.
In Montevideo, they were just wonderful teaching that style of life.
Which is why Dr. Burgdorf is active in the local schools and has become a role model to students, including his son, who is considering family medicine as a career.
I mean, just growing up around him, it seems like just such a rewarding job, and it's always changing, it's always going to challenge you, it's never going to be boring, so it just seems like a great experience, a great way to spend a life.
One might say Dr. Burgdorf is in tune with the community he calls home.
He's out there getting to know the people in other ways just besides just a clinic, No, I think it's very good.
He's just a very selfless person.
Dr. Burgdorf is a key player on the Buffalo Hospital Board of Directors.
He's very committed to this hospital and to the patients and to bettering the operations, to making the experience positive for the community.
He's sat on committees and served as medical director at a local nursing home.
And I think if you didn't know about the different facets of him, you might think, well, he's just a wonderful doctor, and might assume that sort of there's nothing else behind that.
I can't imagine anyone contributing more to the community, and the community is much the richer for it.
When the time came for the hospital to build its new birth center,
Knock, knock on the door, there's Andrew saying, let's consider trying to make some really wonderful art as part of the healing environment.
Dr. Burgdorf led the drive to fill the hallways with a variety of paintings, photographs, and mosaics, all from local artists.
It's now going to be expanded to the new medical surgery ward. And honestly, the hospital is probably going to be the nicest gallery for art in central Minnesota.
They thought it was pretty funny because the lights are so poor down there that I brought a mountain climbing headlight.
Dr. Burgdorf's volunteer efforts don't stop locally. He's also making a difference globally.
And they're so appreciative. It really reminds one of why we're in medicine, to help people.
He spent several weeks working in a makeshift clinic for Mission Jamaica.
You know, we come away from a third world country learning more ourselves than we probably gave to them.
He doesn't stop. He doesn't wait for things to happen. He's very driven to do all sorts of things.
For instance, he's participated in the Buffalo Triathlon annually since 2006.
He doesn't sit. He just relaxes by doing more things. And anything that's relaxing is also connected with some kind of moving.
Which is why you'll see him biking to the clinic instead of driving and spending any free time working on projects outside.
I think he's well balanced, incredibly so, because he's very much the doctor, very much a colleague, very much a family person.
To combine all those characteristics into one person in the medical field is a treasure for us.
He's rare. I believe he's very rare.
He gives so much, and he thinks of everybody. And I'm just so proud of him.
Yes, the difference one man can make in the lives of others is quite evident here. If Dr. Burgdorf hadn't come to Buffalo when he did, one can only imagine that the halls would be a little less colorful, the clinic a little less vibrant, and the music not as beautiful.